What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Let's Talk. We're going to go full on nerd this time. We're going to talk some changes that I think should be done to some characters in Overwatch that I think will bring back more of the tactic that the game has lost, as well as giving the characters a little bit more depth, choice, and adding some of their own little, I think, touches that will actually help them out. We're going to start off with Genji, and Genji doesn't need any changes. Goodbye, Genji. We're going to go to McCree, and I thought it was interesting with McCree that he has sort of a cowboy motif, and the one thing that he's lacking that you've always seen a lot of stuff with cowboys is a lasso, so why not give him one? I think if you were to lasso a target, knock them down, and then they can't move for 2 seconds, I think is sort of a combination of Reinhardt's Earth Shatter, to where he knocks you prone and you can't get up, and Junkrat's Trap, but they're both reduced on the times that you have them affected. You can still use abilities like D.Va's Defense Matrix, or like if you were to lasso another McCree, you could flashbang, but it only goes straight up. Another thing I think you need to do for McCree is take away his bright orange self whenever he turns into whenever he does his ultimate. Get rid of that, because that makes him stand out. When it comes to Farah, I think you need to give her a little bit more, and for those of you that have played Overwatch with me, you know I really don't like Farah, but if she's the only one that's going to fly, let her fly. Give her more prolonged coverage in the air, and I also think you give her an ability with her being in the air, since she's like systems check initiating green across the board. That's some shit you do before a flight, so why not give her something else that a lot of combat jets have, and give her a chaff grenade. And while chaff grenade is active, if you look right here or even here on Farah's gun, what you could do is you could add a light to it that will beep whenever you have larger, more deadly incoming projectiles coming at you. It gives you the ability and the chance to actually get out of that and go, oh shit. But the radar, the passive thing that goes on her gun here, or anywhere on the gun really. I mean, hell, you could put it on the very end. So like an early warnings detecting. And that is only active as long as you have chaff grenade up. So you hear it coming, you chaff grenade. I think that would help out a lot, and it actually kind of give her the sense of really kind of having this aerial superiority thing that she's always, going on and on about that she has. I'm not saying that it would block regular gunfire, but like a soldier helix rocket, it would let you know this is incoming, like it's aimed at you. I don't know how the Blizzard would go about doing it. It's just an idea. But I do think the chaff grenade should be something that should go in that they just activate and throw out. Put it on a 10-second cooldown. Reaper, I feel, needs a lot of love. Namely because anytime that you see him in any of the video shorts that Blizzard has, he has this sense of he's pretty much vapor the entire time. And as you can tell, that's not the case. He's only able to do it once, and that's with his Wraith form. I think his teleport needs to be severely overhauled to the point to where I almost think it's like on a sleep dart, to where you point and you hit the button and you go, and it wouldn't be like an instant, more like a streak as he goes through the air to get to the point that you're pointing at. And I think that'll help him out. You also increase the cooldown to 12 seconds. And I also think that you have to give him an increased range, of which whenever you kill an opponent, they leave behind a little soul globe. Give that a bigger range that he absorbs them to him. Or at least just the teleport should be something. Just click go. Because as you can tell, this is a long, exhaustive process to get up there and do it. And it's kind of dumb. Another thing that I had thought was, if you have Wraith form active, you can give him an ability called Snuff Out, to where if you use Wraith form to get behind someone or to sneak up on someone, so you're not using your big loud ass boots, you hit that and you can take them out. But again, that's something that you have to go about doing. Soldier seems fine to me. Sombra seems fine to me. The only thing that I would do for Soldier, I think you could give him, since he's talking about, you know, he was genetically enhanced or whatever, we don't really see any of that. We don't see anything from him other than the fact that the dude can run forever. I think if you give him increased hearing, so enemies' footprints are even louder or you start hearing them sooner, I think will help him out a lot. Now, my girl Tracer, I think she needs some help, because as you can tell, you start from 0 meters and you go forward to about 7 to 8. I think going out to 10 is a good thing. She needs to go that much farther, so that when you use all 3 of them, you won't end up just beyond 20. You'll end up at 30. I think that's what Tracer needs. And another thing is that if you look at her ability, it says teleports to a location, but you can still be killed in transition. I don't think Bastion needs anything. I don't think Hanzo needs anything. I think Junkrat needs some help. But I think with Junkrat, what a lot needs to be done with him, all of his stuff needs to go back to hurting him and killing him. His weapon needs to be hurting him. His tire needs to go back to killing him. I think Total Mayhem should cover a wider area, and you double the amount of bombs dropped. That's how you justify it. Like, he just starts tossing bombs out. Not in like an explosive, but sort of like a blanket thing. Instead of just this little ass area. Have it spread out more. Because if you're talking about, you're giving him the sort of moniker of Mad Bomber, I think that's what he needs. Make him a Mad Bomber. I also thought that one thing you could do is that since his trap is kind of useless, how about it completely immobilizes while it's there, so it has like some shock stuff to it? Because he's inventive as hell. Use it to his advantage. Like, he's come up with the little weird thing to do his concussion mine. Give him the ability to where when you hit that trap, it just shocks you and you can't do anything. I've seen Reapers get stuck in a trap and then instantly go to Wraith form and go, what did that trap do? Did a little bit of damage. Nope, have it electrocute their ass. They can't do anything. That's what I think Junkrat needs to help him out. I don't think Mei really needs anything. There's nothing you can really do to her that makes her more powerful, because she's quite powerful as it is. Torb, I think you need to give him, like, whenever he goes to build the turret, you need to have him do that faster. Maybe to repair it, it's at the same speed, but to build it, I think it needs to go faster. Because his whole thing is, I got a turret there, and I need to take care of it, so he's going to be near it. So to sit there and use the hammer to actually keep it going is going to take longer. But if you're building it, it's like, quickly get this thing out here, put it up, and go. With Widow, I was sitting there doing some thinking, and the only thing I can really think with her that would help out, because she has all of 2 abilities, and it's on a 12 and 15 second cooldown. That's insane. So it's a 15-second cooldown on your Venom Mine. So I think what you do is you give her 2 of them, and they cannot be placed within 15 meters of each other. I think that will go a long way to help Widow out. And if you fire a Venom Mine, you know, it takes her trajectory, and wherever it lands is wherever it lands. If you fire 2 at once, then the first one that gets placed, when the second one comes in, the first one gets destroyed. But you have to have both of them be fired before the cooldown starts. I think that justifies a 15-second cooldown. So if you can't put one at the top of a door frame, you can't put one at the bottom, so when they come in, they take 150 damage and you kill Tracer instantly. I don't think that's a good thing. But I think if you have them sort of spread out like Symmetra's turrets, we've got one over here and one over here, you'd be like, ooh, people are aware of this one over here. Let me go ahead and pay attention to what's going on over that way. Maybe I need to focus that way. Because no matter where you are as Widow, you know that your shit's gone off. You know if it's been destroyed or if someone's gone into it and they're getting damaged by it. I actually found it interesting that I came up with an idea for D.Va. Because I hear a lot of D.Va mains whining and bitching about, you need to make D.Va more powerful. Me. I don't think you need to make D.Va more powerful. I think what you need to do is give her the ability to leave her suit when she wants to. And the way you do this is you put her mech on autopilot. So it's an ability. You go E, and your mech stays just like this. Wherever you're pointing, that's where your mech just continues to shoot. That's it. You hop out, and you can go run and do stuff. I think something like that would be pretty awesome, because D.Va's biggest thing is she's not lethal at a distance. But if you have your mech set in a spot that only fires in that one spot, and you can then use your mech as a shield to then protect the other 180 degrees that your mech is not protecting you, that increases her lethality. And at any time you can jump back in the mech. However, the draw is if you use that ability at no time while that ability is active and this is going on, because like imagine this is what D.Va's bot is doing while you're not in it. At no time while you are out of your mech are you building ultimate, because otherwise either that or she has to get ultimate built at an insanely reduced rate, to where once you have your ulti, because we know you have this ulti and then it's done and then you can call your suit back at any time. But if you look at how lethal she is with her gun out and how lethal her mech can be if you point it in a specific direction, it's not like Bastion, you can't turn and look. It's not your turret, it doesn't auto-lock. It's just, I focus here and that's all it does. Sort of like putting rubber bands around the triggers that if you notice that she's pulling whenever she's shooting, just put some shit around that and just have your mech just sit there. I think that would be an amazing thing to help D.Va out, and it also adds another tactical element because it's, hey, there's your mech. I also think, once again, D.Va's mech needs to go back to killing her. I think there's far too many times I see D.Va players just standing right in their mech as it explodes. And I think that's just lazy placement. I think that's just being lazy overall. You can't really get too far with being lazy in Overwatch. Just standing there doing nothing is not going to get you anywhere. So if you make it to where, because as you can see, you can fire D.Va's mech out, so you could shoot it away from you to where it's not going to hurt you. I think that should be a thing. I understand, killing your teammates is kind of stupid because then you just get rid of ultimates altogether. But I think that needs to be put back in. Reinhardt, I actually thought of an idea that I thought was pretty clever, because you can't really do much, because this is what Reinhardt's supposed to be doing all the time. I'm supposed to sit here and continuously just soak up damage over and over again. That's what I do. And I'm not going to sit through all of this, but as the shield starts getting lower and lower and you start getting closer and closer to half shield, because as you can tell now, as long as you're over 1,000, shield looks pristine. And then as soon as it goes below 1,000, shield is cracked. I think at that point, the shield needs to have sort of like its own defense and fire out a knockback. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage. I'd say maybe like 50 tops, but it does a pretty significant pushback. Not quite as much as Roadhog's ultimate, where he's throwing things off to the side, but enough to where if that were the case at all, it's just one quick jolt and out it goes. And you have to have the shield active the entire time in order for that ability to charge. You can even have a meter that says, damage until knockback. Winston, I also think, needs another little something. And I thought maybe give him a double front kick. Just a little, give him a little bit of a knockback as well. Have it on like an 8-second cooldown, maybe 10. But if he's supposed to be someone who dives into an area, sits there and uses his Tesla coil, and then as he jumps out, puts a shield and jumps out and gets out of there, I think being able to knock someone back, or maybe even knock someone forward towards your team, would go a long way as well, into giving Winston a little bit more diversity, a little bit more of a sense of a purpose instead of just I dive in and I stab people. Like, I think the knockback here is if you take half of his knockback whenever he swings and hits someone and give that to the double front kick, I think that'll go a long way to help Winston out as well. That's all that I've got as far as ideas. I know I normally play support characters, but I sat there racking my brain trying to figure out what's going on with them. The only thing I can say for support is move Symmetra to defense. Sorry, but she's not really support. She's not. She has no abilities that matches anyone else in support, and she has a bunch of abilities that match people in defense. I think that's where she needs to go instead. But, you know, that's a huge debate where she's supporting your team by giving you teleports and stuff. Shut up. She's not support. She is defense. Okay? Tracer has teleports. Sombra has teleports. They're in offense. Oh, right. Reaper has one as well. They're all in offense. She's not a support character. But anyway, that's what I've got from my idea. There are other characters that I thought could use some help, but I don't think they really need it. There's a couple little tweaks that I think should be done to some of them. I think Zarya should get a 50 hit point increase. Hit points, not shield. Because she has the lowest amount of health of anyone in there, and she can shield herself every 10 seconds and shield a teammate every 8. But you have to have a teammate that's willing to get up in the front, and if they're not, you're not building charge off of them. So it's kind of a slippery road with Zarya, but I think a 50 hit point increase is all the more that she would need. But the rest of the support characters, I don't really know, because I think anything that you add makes them insanely OP, but I think the people that I pointed out are the ones that have been bypassed the most or have had some changes done to them that have sort of put them down towards the bottom of the barrel, and they're not as good as they should be, or they're not as tactical as they used to be. And those are the ones that I think really kind of need the help, and those are the ones that I highlighted here. Any ideas that you have for people? Anyone that you feel needs to be buffed in any way, shape, or form? Put it in the comments. Let me know. If you think I'm absurd with some of mine, let me know. I mean, that's all I got. So, as Winston said, I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Pickle out.